Everyone, welcome back to my channel, React and Chill. I'm Dika. So last time on SNOWPIERCER, we had the royal wedding. LJ and Osweiler had gotten married, and I was saying in the reaction how it almost felt as if the participants at that wedding were also getting married to the train, especially how Osweiler had his doubts about LJ telling Wilfred, and I don't blame him because we don't always know what his motives are. We had Leighton piecing together what his vision had meant after we know her name now, Aisha. So after finding her and that vision he was trying to piece it together, and from that, and obviously reading books and things which was on SNOWPIERCER, he was able to figure out that the tree, I forgot to make a note of the tree, but what he saw was essentially located in the last heat spot they were gonna go explore. So it was looking promising, even though Till had made fun of him about these visions and stuff he saw. He decided to go with his instincts and believe that that's technically where their destination needs to lead them. We also had Ruth did get captured. However, it was to help the resistance in terms of trying to get rid of this machine. It was an EMP machine that essentially Wilfred was using to put SNOWPIERCER in the dark. But because the resistance was able to foil their plan, the EMP kind of gave off not only the EMP essentially still affected Big Alice, Wilfred's train, but it was bright enough when they released it the second time, when they destroyed it or got rid of the machine. It was able to put them on the map so SNOWPIERCER could see it. So what they decided to do was run parallel along the train tracks so they could get the jump on Big Alice. So now I was saying last time what was going to happen, because essentially are they going to Leighton believes that Aisha's their proof that you can exist outside, because she was living out there for like 8 years. So I wonder how he's going to use this information to leverage stuff with Mr. Wilfred, if he's going to be in a negotiable mood. So yeah, here we are now with episode 3, the first blow. So that was episode 3, the first blow. There was some really good stuff in that episode. So first we had Leighton's gang leading Wilfred into that train track yard. It was like a maze, so that way they were able to firstly also not only have the advantage on him, but kind of trap him in that way. And on top of that, by doing that, they were able to slow him down, because he went in through that not cage, but I don't know what was on the track. They hit that. On top of that, Big Alice was literally getting into her reserves, even though Harvey warned him and trying to push them through. When Wilfred realized what was going on, he said to Kevin, make an example out of them, and obviously went off to gather up the resistance to try and bring about his own form of justice. So during this literally cat and mouse game, the first time they was trying to connect or trying to get Josie to ambush the engine, they brought out their harpoon, literally not smacking, but literally harpooning off like 4 cars on the train. They had to make a quick decision to sort of disconnect that and realize that was a real threat, because they cannot get near Wilfred. And on top of that, he decided to use this moment of chaos to turn off all their comms and be in the dark, but at the same time slowly make his way off because there was a linear track right off the train yard tracks. So once he was off, they were going to lose Wilfred, and he was going to be on linear track so they could sort of get away. So in the meanwhile, I really like that scene between Pike and Ruth, because Pike wanted to get her out, but Ruth said that's not going to do anything for him. We need to send him a message. I felt so bad for Strongboy, because Strongboy was not going to obviously squeal on his comrades while they were torturing him. They were trying to get enough time so they could send off the message, or essentially to get Leighton back on their track again. We see even Aisha had her doubts, because she kept putting that helmet on, because she's still, I think, dealing with trauma from what she'd experienced outside and being stuck, literally living out of that tin can for 8 years. I can imagine it's hard for her to sort of try and be out on the outside. So I really like that once Wilfred's position was compromised, they had that standoff. Wilfred knew what he was doing when, one, even though Harvey said we've run out of reserves, we don't have nothing else, and even then they were trying to bargain with Audrey, and he had kept Zara in the cabin because he knew they wouldn't try and blow up the engine because he had Zara there. He decided to switch off, bring it to a halt, switch off the train, because that was essentially get the whole train to be cold. Now they had no other choice but to reconnect, and he was going to have his jack boots there to get on board and wipe him out. However, Leighton kind of anticipated this, so he was going to get the jump on Wilfred before they did that. So Josie went outside, and while everyone was kind of distracted, Josie went outside to reconnect. And when she was there at the engine window, not engine but the window, he thought, oh, you know, I'm not going to take her bluff, Zara's here, but she ended up breaking it. And in that ensuing chaos, Leighton got the jump on him, and I'm glad he effed him up and stabbing him in the hand. So once he was able to reclaim the train, again, people had their reservations with Leighton and not feeling like people were going to believe him. But Leighton, having the information regarding New Eden, he wanted to help them get to that destination and get, providing a vote on the train. This unfortunately also used Aisha as like some sort of survivor from the outside, where she mentioned they were technically, I think in a way she was describing Leighton's vision, because that's what he saw, and he was trying to sell him a dream to get them there. So they mentioned at the end and how a lot of the things that have happened on this train was down to lies. The beginning of the series, everyone thought Mr. Wilfred was there, but it was Melanie running the train. All the different things they had to say to kind of get to the point they are. So it's essentially, this is just one more live, hopefully the last one, to get them there. Wilfred now being in jail, I definitely don't doubt he doesn't have loyalists still somewhere lurking in the train. LJ took care of Kevin, because that conversation her and Osweiler had about, we're going to end up, what's going to happen to us because we're here witnessing all of this. And how, I told you, like I said, I definitely doubted Osweiler, but LJ is just conniving. She realised once Wilfred was losing steam, she gave the orange to the resistance member, stabbed Kevin in the neck, which I'm so glad he got after what he did to Strongboy. Killed Kevin, and then she was like, to the resistance sort of thing. So just to kind of look, an eye for an eye. I really liked the scene between Harvey and Ben, because they were able to kind of reunite again. And it was so nice how they were kind of, that when he spoke to, definitely said to him in Spanish about opening that door so Josie could come through. So I think Harvey was definitely well aware of what was going on. So during that whole standoff, and how they used Audrey as a mechanism to kind of distract Wilfred, helped in their win. Now, that being said, Wilfred did say stuff about how he has invested a lot of time in Zara and this baby, which goes back to what on earth was he injecting in the baby. I still don't know, and I'm still quite worried as to that might have consequences later down the line. I like that the fact that, Sykes no longer is up with Audrey's bullshit. So she's like, you're going to be banned from the night car and you're in third now, especially because, you chose the wrong side. Essentially saying Wilfred was evil to begin with, you still went along with his BS. With Wilfred in jail, and obviously the 6 months Josie had with Leighton on that train compared to now, what that dynamic's going to be, because Leighton is technically back with Zara and the baby. I don't know how that's going to change things, because they shared a moment. And of course now it's just a case of getting to this New Eden. Leighton's literally putting all his eggs in this basket, because even Ruth said that is the hardest part of the track. You're going to put them on that. Now, everyone went through hardship the last 6 months, and you're going to put them in this position. So it'll be interesting to know more BS that kind of, like, Leighton's going to have to try and find a way to keep it together. Wilfred still thinks you're not going to be able to keep it together, but now that Kevin's dead, Wilfred's in jail, Audrey won't be able to get near him. I wonder now how that breaks things up for him. Like, what's the dynamic going to be like? Essentially, he's trying to unite everyone to this one goal, but I wonder if that's enough to not only keep him in power, but to make sure chaos doesn't ensure again. So that was a really good episode. Every time I thought it was going to end, some other thing had come up or something else had come up, so it was really interesting. And now I'm wondering what's going to ensure as we're on the road to New Eden. And that was it. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.